Reaching for a metaphor to describe what it's like to launch a bookstore during a pandemic, Jennifer Caspar alights on the parable of the frog in the pot of water, the one that doesn't notice it's being gradually boiled alive. In the beginning of the pandemic, I was like, oh, it's just going to be 6 weeks and then things will be back to normal, Caspar, 54, recounted on a gloomy afternoon outside her Culver City bookstore, Village Well Books and Coffee, which opened its doors in January, LA's worst month of the pandemic. I never really questioned it, I just kept moving forward. She had a bookstore to open. She never panicked. To use another waterlogged metaphor, she was swimming against the tide. For much of the past year, booksellers in Los Angeles and beyond have been contending not with startup logistics but instead a slew of economic hurdles and existential crises induced by the pandemic. Sales dropped 50% to 70% for many local bookstores. Some resorted to online fundraisers and public pleas for support. Many depended on the sales flood of the holiday season to get them out of the red, only to see it coincide with a massive surge in COVID-19 cases and a return to full shutdown. Some, such as Family Books on Fairfax Avenue, didn't make it. Caspar, in the meantime, was just getting started. After a years-long search for the perfect location, she found it in November 2019 on the star-crossed corner of Culver Boulevard and Duquesne Avenue, next to Culver City Hall. The vegan joint Doomies struggled to attract customers and was forced to close, joining so many ill-fated predecessors that locals took to calling it the Doomed Corner. Caspar signed a lease in February 2020. Conversations with architects were ongoing and city permits were in motion when the shutdown arrived, slowing an already drawn-out process. Having worked in community development real estate, Caspar knew that projects always take longer than you think, even in normal times. After signing the lease, she projected a May or June opening, but in the back of her mind, she knew there was an excellent chance that wasn't going to happen. It was frustrating because you're always pushing for that sooner date. That month kept creeping back, but it always felt okay, she said. But Caspar had a financial cushion, life insurance proceeds from her late husband, and the presence of mind to focus her efforts on a website. Even as many existing bookstore owners were ramping up online operations just to survive, Caspar was building one while her physical shop was still a construction site. Last summer, she posted banners around her store in progress, directing customers to the online shop. In May, she started selling books from her home. Dozens of boxes of books, totaling some 500, spilled into the hallway and filled her daughter's room and her guest bedroom.